Hey, what's up guys? I'm back. Welcome to another episode of What's Up Doc. So I decided to go back and watch an older documentary, one you might remember, Fahrenheit 9/11. It's by Michael Moore, came out in 2004, which only seems like yesterday. And little did I know, when I looked more into it, it is the highest grossing documentary of all time in the cinema. We all went to see it, apparently, but I couldn't remember too much from it before whacking it on, so, I wondered why the hell can I not remember this, because I can remember Bowling for Columbine. I know that almost like scene by scene. So I put it on, watched it, and it turns out it's not really that good. It just didn't really get me curring. You'd think I would care more. You'd think after watching it I'd be more riled up, but I was left feeling confused and overwhelmed, and I put it all down to the fact it just wasn't as linear as Bowling for Columbine. And this, it begins telling you the ties that the Bush administration has to oil companies and to other kind of deals with Saudi Arabia and with the Bin Ladens, and it overwhelms you because he doesn't actually really talk about the stuff I want to hear about. Like the bit where the links with the Bin Ladens, that's interesting. He does touch on that. However, he goes more into Bush's service history with the army and his business study. And it's rubbish, it's just boring. I didn't really care, and I didn't really see what this really in the long run had to do with what we were really talking about. Michael Moore's delivery of all this information is to do it like a person telling a story to a child, like politely, which I get it, it's ironic, I get it, but it actually begins to become annoying and somewhere lies between being monotonous and also just talking down to you. So you start to not listen, which I know I really tried to and I really struggled. Then it goes into the consequences of war, which I thought was much more important. That was much more interesting. But it shows some soldiers abusing the Iraqis over there, and it's very good. I'll give him that. It's very good. When I watched that, I definitely felt like I was watching some individuals abusing their power. I didn't walk away thinking, oh, all the army abuse the power, all soldiers will abuse the power and shoot people in the head and piss on the bodies or something like that. I didn't walk away like that, because that can happen. You can watch footage on the news of a carer spitting on an elderly person or of a prison guard brutally attacking a prisoner, and you will walk away from that news story thinking, God, are they all like that? But he didn't. I definitely felt like I was only watching some individuals, so kudos to him on that. Yeah, it just wasn't. I'm really struggling even to talk about it, because we know that the poor always go to war now. It's kind of a thing, and he does pick up on that. But because I kind of felt so overwhelmed by all the information at the start, I just didn't really care. Now, if he began with what Iraq looked like before the war, then what Iraq looked like after the war, then showing the abuse that certain soldiers were committing on the people of Iraq, then if he had shown them targeting the lower class, showing that bit where the soldiers going around trying to get people from lower class into the army, not remotely trying to get anyone in the upper class, and then showing the consequences of war, so trauma, physical abuse, mental abuse, death, families having to deal with the death of a loved one, that would make any patriot go, is this worth it? Was this war really worth it? Is this war really worth it? And then going, by the way, we think he has ulterior motives for going to war. Look at this. That would have got me riled up. But instead, it's backwards. So I'm left overwhelmed with a bunch of information, and then they're showing me, like, bodies, nothing unnecessary, but bodies, people abusing other people, some horrible people going around trying to get young boys to go to war, some horrible people going around believing that war is the only answer. And yeah, I mean, it just left me confused. I give it 3 out of 5 docs, and I think I'm being pretty generous there as well, because I think it is important to watch. I think that's why so many people went to watch it. It is important to watch, as it's something so recent. There are other documentaries that get your blood pumping more, like Zeitgeist. There's also Loose Change, and I mean, Bowling for Columbine, that just gets me worked up. This just didn't really do anything for me, which is a shame. But I'm hoping when I watch his newest documentary, Where to Invade Next, I'll get that magic back, and hopefully I'll be sitting in front of this camera telling all you guys a completely different story, and he's got his fire back. Thanks for watching. Keep talking nerdy. Bye.